Hello. Yeah, it's working. Right, so I'm tired. I always get tired when I do this, but I'm tired. So I have set the timer for an hour. We know how this goes. If we're having fun, it'll be longer. But if I'm done when the timer goes, I will set the wee timer to go into the membership. So I hope you're all doing great. So if you've just found us, my name's Claire, not Crystal. Everything I do is channel and clear and healing energy. Meaning I use a lot of cards, but I don't actually need them. I just channel the energy and they make it more interesting. And everything I do is healing. So actually that's quite funny. I actually had an instance like that just a few hours ago. Um I won't get in the big long story. It's not that, it's not that interesting, but it's kind of like it was just where someone isn't familiar with my work and I prayed that they would get an appointment like soon. And it was one of these things where it's like you have to wait for it. And she was like, it's like a miracle. I got seen first. And I was like, so. And there's more funny stuff to that story that I'll tell you next week. Um, but let me just check. I did just check on the laptop, but I usually check on the phone, so I just want to check that. There we go. Um, hello, washing up and listening. Woke up at 1:30 after closing my eyes last night. So yes, I knew you'd fallen asleep. What time did you finish? Uh, it was sometime after midnight because I remember looking at the it was all the zeros, which is not a coincidence. Nothing ever is because that is the 0 point. That is to do with the winter equinox. Oh damn! I meant to find that card. I've got one more chance. So that's a channeled message. Someone feels like they've got one more chance. Because I've got one more day to find that. It's not a big deal, but it's just I've got a deck that's got the winter solstice in it, so it'd always be pretty cool if it comes out. Um, I've got to watch for this jumper because it goes down a little bit more than I'd like. Um, yes, it turns out I don't think red top will be getting worn. Well, it's not getting worn tonight like I was going to plan to. And I don't think I'll be wearing that tomorrow either. I might decide it because I was going to coincide it with filming the Christmas videos, but for some reason I don't know why I thought I could film videos during this because they never let me. And it's because I'm facilitating the energy shift going on right now. So it's like genuinely that is the truth. I do this, I go to sleep, I'm getting up like later afternoon the first couple of days, and then I have a bath and I get ready. You know what I mean? I mean, I might be in my jammies again tomorrow, but I somehow managed to do my hair and get makeup on and stuff. But yeah, blue, the colour of my jumper being blue, I feel that actually is very fitting. Serendipitously, it's about speaking your truth, and that was one of the suggestions that I gave at the start of the week. Although you didn't need to use that one, and also the blue frequency of the Palladians and the blue star and all that, just the blue galactic energy. And so yeah, and so again, like, sorry if I don't seem excited, but yeah, it is exciting because today, if you've taken action, you're taking action from a new timeline, but only provided you done day one, day two. You know what I mean? It doesn't work if you didn't do day one and day two. But like I said, it's you can if you take this seriously, you can go back and do it yourself over another 5 days because people have had results doing it that way too. But again, I just don't think a lot of people will do that unless they're on my radar and they trust me and they believe me. They're not going to do that. But yes, so just trust that if you're like Charlotte and you fell asleep, whereas I would imagine most people did, and if you didn't, you've not done anything wrong either. But it does just kind of indicate you know, you're not able to kind of relax and trust and go with the flow with what's going, but with what's going on because it's better to let it sort of sink in. But yeah, and if you haven't taken your action when you're watching this, just again, same thing, just take any kind of action. But the idea today is because we jumped a timeline, if you've done that, you're in a different frame of mind, you're in a different frequency. Like you took the time to trust that your soul done that, even if you fell asleep, it's all subconscious. Trust that you created a future vision of a future timeline that you want to bring about. Um, and it was quite interesting because in the bit last night, when I've not watched that back, but like I've just caught up watching day two. I've not watched yeah, I've caught up watching day two. I haven't watched last night, but I said like, ask for a word or something or a color or something like that. And I got two names, like two random names and like something else that I knew what that meant. But I'm like, I wonder if that's going to be people that like, book at any point, like further down the line, because it's not people that are on my radar. But I mean, it might be someone else totally random, like I'm phoning up for a bill or something, and the person picks up the phone and they're like, "Oh, hi, my name's such and such," because I had that the other week. But who knows? Um, but yeah, the Sun conjunct the Galactic Center. That's what we're in now, and that's it's going to be to do with the new moon as well. But it's like that's happening now. But we're in the dark moon, so the dark moon can feel a bit meh. You know what I mean? And obviously I feel meh because I'm tired from doing all of this and just my sleep being all over the place. But my wee doggy pal she wasn't meant to be here again, but her mum needed to go and do something, so I just had her for a wee bit. So we just napped and watched The Office. And the big news is I have finished The Office. So that was quite an emotional wee afternoon there I had because I was like, wait a minute, I'm sure this is getting towards the end. And I was like, that's gonna be really weird if it's like the last episode when I'm like finishing the challenge and it's like wrapping things up for the year and so it's like big endings. Um and it was the last episode. And so yeah, I got loads of they were totally speaking to me like big time through with a lot of that. So I'll just sort of oh my God, excuse me yawning. I'm gonna be yawning a lot. I'm just gonna do the usual and then if that sort of comes into it, I'll bring it in. But so this card was face down and I was guided to see what it was. Um and it's manifesting miracles, Archangel Orion. Thank you, Orion, for manifesting your miracles in my world. I'm sure there was alignment with that not long ago, but I don't know, I can't remember. Um, and but even all the blue again, and then this fell when I was sitting down, and like it fell face down, and I picked it up, and it says a new adventure in love is coming. Get ready. So that's quite exciting when you pair that together. So, I can't imagine a thumbnail's going to beat that one. But the only problem is, I don't know if that writing shows up. Definitely feeling lighter today. Been out to watch the Nutcracker Ballet at local theatre. Wait, I'm just gonna, yeah, that'll do. Um, oh, that's nice. Been playing music this morning and this evening, and had some energy releasing. Amazing. So you see, you were feeling lighter and you were doing nice things and you've been, releasing energy with the tears. Brilliant. Yeah, that's what happens on this challenge, guys. So that's what happens when anyone is doing anything like this. It's because you're pushing outside your comfort zone. So like obviously I was meant to release energy by watching The Office. But because I do that because it's funny, like you know what I mean, well they see it, but I mean it was just emotional, but also I thought that was funny, those memes when it's like, what do I do with my life now? Do you know what I mean? I'm like just gonna start watching it again. I'll leave it a bit, I'll start like I don't know, I'll start watching it between Christmas and New Year, but oh my God, holy shit, man. um right, so we'll just deal with me being like this if that's all right. Oh yeah, so again, so I've posted the offers and then I realized I thought, wait a minute, I haven't posted the links. So I posted the offers, which like I said, it's some of my bigger sessions. So, how do I know? I can't imagine anyone's going to book that this time round. But if people do, great, bonus. But just remember there are the general sessions that are there all the time as well. So just start where you're at basically. And No, so sorry, that's not the bonus. I've put the offers out and I just decided with the bonuses, if anyone does buy any of them and you pay in full, you can just pick the bonus that you're most drawn to. And I felt like if anyone wants to do any of them and you want to do part payment, I'll still give you a bonus, but it'll be a 15-minute free unlisted. And again, people have loved them because I gifted people that the last time I done the challenge. Um, and yeah, people loved them and found them really helpful. So and I think that's it. So really, I think what I'll just say now is the housekeeping is if you're interested in any of the offers, whether it's the smaller things or the bigger things, and even some of the bigger things that I haven't highlighted, then just email me and I'll be around tomorrow. I always think it's safer to say from like 3 in the afternoon onwards because that's when I'm starting to kind of come alive. But if anyone does need me before that, like 2 or something, I can do it. I'll just sit in my jammies and chat. But yeah, basically it's a wee 15, 20 minute chat. And you can donate whatever you want. Well, at minimum £10, and then if you want to, donate more, you can. But and yeah, it's just a 15-minute chat that if you want to just talk about anything that came up, in the challenge. Although because we're getting towards the end of the challenge, I don't know how helpful that's going to be anyway, but um and but it would, yeah, like I said, I think you should use it for if you plan, obviously if you plan to book something bigger and you just wanted to ask a few questions before I close this challenge out, then that's what that's for. But I don't mind you jumping on a wee chat if you need to do that for the future too. If you're thinking about booking something in the future and you want to book, then that's fine as well. Um, uh, but I'll probably add the links in when I finish this if I remember. Oh no, I don't think I can. Nah, just email me. I can't because it was like I had to edit it all because it wasn't fitting in because it was too much. But what I done was I like highlighted the session and then rather than me telling you what it's about, I just picked the specific reviews of people that have had them in the past. And let me tell you, all the people that have had those things in the past, those reviews don't even do it justice. Like some, because it's all anonymous and there's so many. In general, some of those people were in the darkest places they've ever been in their life. And some people couldn't speak their truth to anyone in their life, really, and certainly weren't doing creative projects like singing or social media or one woman done the psychoastrology empowerment reading and I saw that she had a gift for poetry and then long story short she started doing that after and then she was putting on social media and stuff and then she also set up her own channel and was like talking about true crime and stuff again that was like nearly 8 years ago or something now and so and she was in my membership too. I had a different type of membership but yeah, that was the last I heard she was doing that. Hello, Crystal and all from USA, NASCAR driver Greg, iPhone family. It was killed today in a plane crash. So sad. May they. Are you the same guy that came on and said the other guy that, like, sorry to hear that, but that's a bit strange that do you just go about telling when, like, somebody's. A minute. I mean, that is a real thing that's happened. But I mean, Paul, I'm just interested. Are you the same person that told me that actor died the other day? Because don't get pulled into that too much. That is sad, but like it's like tempting me to go a bit. I don't know about these people because I don't know them, but some of these things are like I don't know if we're allowed to say that word. I sang it last night because it's no sacrifice, no sacrifice, no. You see what I'm saying? So don't get pulled into the. That's sad, and rest in peace to that man. But don't get. It's just a bit funny that we'd never met you before. Another day you're telling us about the other guy, and now it's this guy. But I mean, it is true because I saw it was true the other night. It's true with this one. So, but yeah, who knows? It was like that other strange occurrence. But I have seen that man and things. I just can't remember what. But that other man and his wife, and it's meant to be the son's killed them or something. I haven't even looked into it because I'm not getting pulled into it. But that is, dodgy. More dodgy than what there's. Yeah. Anyway, not everyone's really kind of awakened to that stuff that much, but a lot of people are. So, right, okay. So I'm going to put in. So basically, uh, what was I going to say? Yeah, so just email me and I'll send you the link. And like I said, if anyone does need to pay, if anyone wants to do those sessions and you either want to know more or you want to pay it part payment, then just, email me, or it'd be better just to jump on a quick call tomorrow. And it's really easy. I'll set up the invoice for 2 parts, 3 parts if you must, but I'd rather not because I get the fees. But it's not that big a deal. If you want to do it and you need that, because it's Christmas and everything, like, what I mean, you can do that. Yeah, but other than that, that's it. And I hope that I'm not finishing it. I hope that you got something from this, and I hope that you moved yourself out your comfort zone. And right, let's now put the stuff in. So, oh God, I've lost it again. Where is it? There it is. I don't think this is going to fit. I just found you out of the blue. Well, there you go. Um, oh God, I need to take one more emoji away and then it'll fit. There we go. Het. What does het mean? Unless you just meant to write hey. And hey, if you meant hey. I assume you meant hey. Right, let's actually, I didn't set a goal any other nights, but let's set a wee goal. So, right, it's a bit steep, but this is because my energy is lower. So, I'm valuing my energy a wee bit more. So, we get 5 super chats, yellow and higher, then I will pull everyone in the chat cards that wants it. But if anyone donates and we don't reach the goal, I'll pull you a couple of cards. Right, so if we and it's strong tonight because it's the Galactic Center. Right, so no, I'm in Scotland and my name's Claire, Paul. We need to get that right from the start. So, but I actually called myself this because I had somebody staying with me that was called Crystal. That's how I got the idea. Because we were uptown and the man was like, looked in my eyes and he was like, he was I think he was a shaman. It was a Native American man. They were doing something uptown. They had like pictures of wolves and everything like that. So it was totally up my street. And he was like, you're a very, very, very old soul. And said something else mystical that I can't even remember now. I really should because I've been telling that story for the past 10 years. Yeah, but he saw in my eyes that I was a very old soul, and that is right. Um, you reach the goal, I will pull all in chat cards, or oh fuck's sake, or you. I'm just posting it. I don't know if it's, let's just see what it says. An error occurred. Why is an error occurred? Huh? There we go. Seagull. Or you a few. Right, what? Right, that's meant to say, if we reach the goal, I'll pull everyone in the chat cards, or you a few if you've donated and we don't reach the goal, kind of thing. You're so sweet and beautiful. Thank you very much. Where are you from, both of you? Paul, you've already told us. Are you? No, actually, where are you from in America? Um, right, so I think I'm just going to do the usual. I'll just tap in on the Twinflame Collective before I do all the sort of galactic stuff. But I just feel, I think I'll put that. I just feel it's going to fit in with some of the things on the office that were sticking out to me. Maybe I should just do what I done last night. I'll just read it all out and then I'll do the cards. Right, so spoiler alert, if you've not seen The Office and the American Office and you want to watch it on Netflix, Prime, whatever, click off now because I'm going to talk about it. Would you know the late singer Olivia Newton-John, Let's Get Physical? Where's this going? Yes, I know her very well. Grease is one of my favourites. Why? Um, so but yeah, so in the episode I've watched, it was the characters that were, I spoke about them before, Dwight and Angela, that were acting like they didn't, that they hate each other, when really you can see they're in love the whole time. Hello, Bex. Called you Bex this time. It's really lovely because it's like he's going out with this other girl and he's bought a ring for her, but he basically is having this realization he wants to marry Angela, right? So if you can't see the connections with Twinflame journey, well, I can't help you, but it's definitely comes up now and again quite recently. But yeah, so I've wrote Dwight was going to propose to someone else, but he loves Angela, and so he basically admits that to Jim, right? I'm just going to read it out. So he asked Jim for advice, and he says, and then Jim is quite sweet because, right, so while this is what I was crying at, right? I'm not being funny, but fuck hell, like, there's so many, like, because I'm even getting chills now, but there's so many, like, romantic couples that you can look to be like, oh my God, like, but I swear, like, see, now that I've watched all of that, like, oh, I just love that. And it's like, if ever I want to, like, I don't know, if ever I really want, like, a really happy thing to watch and feel, like, really happy, because this is a good pointer. See if you're wanting the man, and I don't always do that. I always forget. But when I've taught things about manifestation and stuff, the true manifestation, not like fuckery, trickery, because some of the way that people teach manifestation these days, I'm sorry, it's just point blank witchcraft. So you've got to be careful. Like if you're doing anything that's actually against anyone's will, that's witchcraft. I don't care what people are calling it. So don't be doing any of that. Have to run back to work. Talk next time. Love the show. Have a great day to all. I will be back. Well, thank you, Paul. And Paul, if you come back another time and you're talking about another American actor that has died, I mean, how it might be your area of interest. How do I know? But you've been polite enough, so I will have a good day. I won't block you or anything. Um, Right, so do you see how hard this can be, people? Do you know, because you can't just go around blocking everyone, either online or in the internet, and lots of people do. So it's everyone's different, so it's good to be kind of open minded. But when it's an obvious troll, they're gone. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, like it's really good to like listen to like high vibrational songs or like watch a film or a program that really just makes you feel really happy. And while you're watching it, like think about something you want to manifest in your own life. And that's a really good way because you're in a really high energy, a high frequency, and it's a great way to like bring things about. Because that's for those of you that fell asleep, just to enlighten you. During the timeline jump last night, like I got you to visualize, like to go through a door and then to visualize like what you deem to be your highest timeline and just really feel it. And I described that basically you might have just picked, you might have picked like as soon as today, you might have picked like 2 days away, you might have picked next week, you might have picked like right at Christmas, you might have picked New Year. You get the idea. You might have picked 2 months ago, 2 months away. Sorry, I'm hiccuping and burping. That's why I'm clearing energy. Um, or you might have picked 6 months from now. And if you're anything like me, like it was like my timelines were all sort of jumping about. I was like being shown different bits, so it's different for different people. Some of you might not remember a thing, and that's fine. Everyone's different. Just trust that something's changing. But you've got to keep taking action from this new higher timeline. And again, remember the warning was be prepared for things to change because it will. And I thought it was kind of creepy, but it was kind of amazing that when I finished, I was like, what's that black book? I was, oh, is that just a blank notebook? That's handy. And I turned it around and it said, Truth Conquers All, Rosalind Chapel. Well, that's amazing in itself that truth conquers all. But what's amazing is I actually mentioned, see what I mean? It's going a bit booby again. I mentioned Rosalind Chapel. So that's not a coincidence. So do you know what I mean? It's kind of in fact, see, because I'm saying that, I'm going to get a Mary Magdalene card. So because I bought that on my birthday. I completely forgot it was there. Right, so let's get a wee Mary Magdalene card. We're just gonna wing it, just go wherever. Oh shit, no, I was reading out I'll put them there to remind me. I was reading out the thing, wasn't I? Sorry, I'm really tired. But I really do I think it is the Sun conjunct the galactic center too. It's like we're all raising in frequency. And bear in mind, like I'm not just saying this, anybody that even does anything remotely similar, when they have connected with me, they're like, oh my God, I can channel, but whatever it is you're connected to, you're like really like, 12D and above, kind of really high frequency. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But you see, I'm used to it, but I can feel something has shit, like I'm very lightheaded and stuff. And like I said, there are other reasons for that, but I'm just, it feels weird. But anyway, I'm going with it. So, thank you. You're very welcome. What are you saying thank you for? Have you been doing the challenge or are you just hanging out or but you're welcome, whatever it is. But yeah, so what was quite lovely in that, oh yeah, so it was just what I was trying to get at there is that's a good idea, getting a high frequency. Also, side note, I really wanted to wear my ankh, but I've lost the chain somehow. It must have fallen down the side or something. I was only wearing it the other day. So I was like, oh, well, I wear. And then I got pulled to this clear crystal crystal clear quartz. That's not a coincidence either. So I feel they're trying to say, like, you can see clearly now. You can crystal clearly see now. And again, that is why I'm called this, because I do help people crystal clearly see. And even if it's eventually, it's because I'm here to help people like ascend and stuff. It's like some of you, if you followed me right from Facebook, like over 10 years ago, I could have been dropping the seed like really slowly. And because like some people go off my radar and they come back and they're ready. And that's really what it's all about. But I do feel a lot of you are seeing crystal clearly now because I wasn't going to wear that. It is really lovely that I always get compliment. You can't really see it. It's just a very simple, clear quartz point, but it's quite a nice one. It's not, you get quite generic ones and the wire wrapping. I mean, I like them too, but this one's quite nice because it's like dips in silver, although it's kind of going a bit discolored. And it's I really love it. It's tiny. So I don't know if it is Lemurian quartz or something like that, but it's. But anyway, yeah. So what I was meaning is like I watched that not long ago, and I just caught it in the telly, and oh my God, like that episode where Jim and Pam get married and they're like dancing down it, like that all the people from the office are dancing down the aisle, like copying a YouTube video that had went viral, like at the time that went out. That is just, I feel it's got everything. It just makes me laugh so much. Like it's so, like I rewind it every time because it's so funny. and it's lovely too. Like it's really romantic too, because it's like they just go off and do their own thing, and it's like that's really what it's all about. Like, you know, love is love, and you know, it's not about all the other people. And I just love that they run off and do their own thing, and then they kind of still make the other people happy. But it's but yeah, but so that today was a little bit like that too when I was watching the last ones, because it was like he like gives her this DVD because she just said to him like, you know, I'm afraid I'm not enough for you. And then and he's like, are you like, you know what I mean? Are you kidding? Do you know what I mean? Because it's like if you've seen the whole of it, like, you know what I mean? He literally wanted her for like years. And then anyway, she's got this DVD on with Snow Patrol, I think it is, with Open Your Eyes playing. And while she's watching this, watching all the reminiscing, because that's the thing, because it's meant to be, you know, it's a comedy, but it's meant to be a documentary. So they're watching back the documentary of it. You know what I mean? So it's a bit confusing. Um, but so this is but Dwight is asking for Jim's advice, like as that music's playing. And he's like, so, and Jim says to him, I don't know what to tell you, man, but there's only one thing that will make you give up on every instinct you thought you knew, every rational calculation, and it's love. I mean, Dwight says something funny, like I can't remember, he says something, and he's like, no matter what happens, you got to forget all the other stuff, fear and doubt, and do everything you can to get the one woman who's going to make everything worth it. You've got to jump. You love Angela, and I think you always have. So that felt like a direct message for some as well. Um, and then in the lyrics of that "Open Your Eyes" song, it's got a lyric that says, "I won't waste a moment without you." And then, oh my god, that's what I was sobbing at. So there's, oh my god, I wish I cried. This is what I mean. I get so emotional that like I get a really it's hard to describe. But basically, it was like there's an episode like near the start when they're like just fancying each other, not doing about it, and she's with some arsehole. And because it's basically the whole point, it's about low self worth. And there's a nice bit where she actually says that towards the end. Like, I hope this inspires somebody to not leave it so long to go after what you want. And I'm going to post the quote to that tomorrow. It would be cute. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to post that when it's like when I'm closing it out. But yeah, so this letter, right? It was like when he gives her I think she's still going out with the guy, and he gives her a Christmas present or something, and she's like, oh my god, like this is exactly the kind of thing I'd want, because they were just really sweet as like best friends as well. And but he had a letter in it, and he basically takes the letter away and puts it in his back pocket, so she never got to see the letter that he wrote. And then in the very last episode, so like this is what I said, it is a spoiler alert, but like I said, this is like 20 years old, so a lot of people are going to have seen it, but not everyone. He gives her that letter, and I was like, oh my god, that is cute. And it's obviously the letter tells her how much he actually, you know, how much she actually means to him, and how much he wanted this and stuff. And I mean, at this point, they're married with a couple of kids and stuff. Um, but we don't actually get to see what the letter says, which I kind of think is quite cute too. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're just left to wonder what it was he wrote. Um, and then he says, you know, not enough for me. You are everything. And then, oh my god! And then this was the most hilarious bit. This was when Dwight was chasing Angela, because it's all just love. This is the point. It's all love. Um, he goes after her, right? And she's like in the car, and he's like, I would raise 100 of your children by all your lovers if it meant I could be with you. I love you. Because he thought that that wasn't his son, because she was with the gay guy. It's all this big thing. Um, and then she's like, he is yours. I just needed to know you love me. So that was more fun. It was cute, but it was more funny. Um, and then will I read all of this? No. Oh, right. I'll read this out, but I'll put the quote tomorrow. Pam says, people kept telling me my love was like a fairy tale, but last year did not feel like a fairy tale. That was when I was talking about yesterday. It was making me really sad because I was like, oh my God, are they going to make them break up? Um, but then it got better and deeper. It's like a book that you never want to end. You just never, ever want to leave it. I don't know why that's making me cry, but it was quite cute when I watched it. And it's kind of like, you know, I do think a lot of people could relate to that, especially when it comes to love, but a lot of things. It's like a lot of people don't want to go on to the next bit. because you're scared of what's going to happen. But you could, and this is just my own thing that's coming through, you could actually be missing out on the best times and the best days of your life from fear of what's around the corner. You know what I mean? So that's why that sort of really stuck out to me. And also just the fact that, you know, they go through a rocky patch and then they work through it and then they're even closer. And I do feel that is like twin flames as well. Like you do, put it mildly, you do go through a lot of shit and a lot of people for a lot of years, but then when you actually connect with that person again, it will make you closer because you've went through so much. And if it's your real twin flame, you'll have mirrored a crazy amount of stuff. And then, yeah, and then this is at the end. She's like, I couldn't watch the documentary. I got 3 episodes in, and it was so painful watching myself be so unhappy. It took me 4 years to do so many important things. I hope people learn from my mistakes. Very connected to Twin Flame journey, but also this challenge, because that's the whole point. When you procrastinate, you can waste years of your life. So don't beat yourself up for it, but do something about it now. You know what I mean? In any area of life, it doesn't need to be love, work. Because like I said, I have procrastinated in all these areas. Do you know what I mean? And that's why when I started doing this to help people, well, you know what I mean? I'm doing it to help people, but I also didn't fucking waste any time and, you know, but yeah, I didn't waste any time with a lot of things because I'd already wasted a lot of time. And when you know that you're twin flames, it's like the feminine's the energetic leader. So if you haven't even, you know, voiced how deep your feelings even are, then, you know, so that's again, that's why I think our story's a wee bit more unique because I'm not one of these ones that was like, you know, chasing after them, like, love me, be with me. Like, I wasn't like that at all because I'm got a lot of pride. It's like more like, you know, I done it in a kind of confusing way when we were younger, and then when he was like going off with like, yeah, I'm like, fuck you then. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then, do you know what I mean? And then when I realized what it was all about, I was like, oh right. And then yeah, I'll find out further down the line all the other things that have happened just to confuse matters. Because like I always say, it's like it doesn't take a genius to work out. There's definitely some folk that have been a bit shitty and not passing on either how I was still feeling or I think how he was. I think people have done the opposite, but we'll find that out. Might be wrong. But I already know it's right on my side because there's things I found out like you know years later, and I'm like, why the fuck did that person not tell me that? Anyway, right. So, and then I'm going to put that quote tomorrow. I'll read it. Well, I'll just read it out now. She says, "Be strong, trust yourself, love yourself, conquer your fears, and go after what you want, and act fast because life just isn't that long." So you can see why I'm going to use it to like, you know, end the challenge. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Um, and then there's just a couple of more things. Andy says at one point, I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them. I think a lot of people could relate to that. And then Jim's like, imagine you could go back and watch a tape of yourself change and grow up. You guys gave me that. I actually gave myself that. I've just had that revelation right now, live. I can do that. For the past 10 years, I can go back and look at how I've grown. So isn't that kind of amazing? So I think that might be a little bit more inspiration for anyone else that has a similar calling to do stuff online, you know? Oh, hi there. Hi, Lana. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. And welcome. Right, okay, so that's all that out of the way. So let's do a Mary Magdalene card. Oh no, maybe I think it's more relevant to do these. So let's see, because this is a bit of a mixed bag. But yeah, so let's see how it connects, because that was all love, love, love. You know what I mean? That was all love. But it's always love around here because I am a twin flame healer. So. Right. What do we need to know about all of that? Blowing a kiss. Yes, feels relevant. Unconditional love, giving and receiving, fairness and love, affection returned. So yeah, I do feel that's actually amazing, isn't it? I love when they make me do that. So that bit there, affection returned, because you know it's a little bit different because they're married and they've got kids by that point. But I did find it quite touching because if you when you watch The Office from the start, they're both they're best friends, but they're clearly in love with each other. And she's settling with this horrible guy because she doesn't feel good about herself. And you can change she to he, by the way. And you know, so they've fallen in love long ago, because there's a lovely bit on the episode of the wedding one when he's like, oh, how does he say it again? Because that is really lovely. He's like, I knew it from the day I met her, something like that. That I needed to marry her. Like it was something like that. So that was, and it's the way he says it because he's just so cool. Him. Um. Anyway, that episode is a bit like, because I've watched the whole thing. I honestly, it's like I said, it's a two-parter. It's so, yeah, so funny, so funny. But yeah, unconditional love, giving and receiving fairness and love, affection returned. I do feel with me, because both those couples that I've mentioned, that Angela and Dwight and Jim and Pat, it's like it's imbalanced at some points, and then it's like, with Angela and Dwight, you don't actually see it balance out towards the end. But that's what I'm saying. It's a really good example of being in that dismissive, avoidant attachment, because it's, and although it's a comedy, but I'm just kind of breaking it down in that way. It's like, it's weird because they're both very strange people alone, but together they're really weird. But it's like they obviously are in love and very awkward about telling each other. And so it's kind of like, you just have, it's sweet, when you really watch it. But I feel this is with that thing about Jim not giving the letter until the very last episode. I really do feel it's like that's like when I've referenced the Magic Mike's Last Dance, when, spoiler alert again, but if you've never seen that, she thinks that he doesn't care. And she thinks, oh God, I've fallen in love with this hot dancer. And he's like, fucking, and also she's a lot older than that too. And he's like, he's no looking at me like that. But that wasn't the case. Like, he'd been keeping an eye on her the whole time and learning all about her. And then at the end, he wows her with the dance that he does with the fucking hot ballerina. That's hilarious. I always say, I was like, yeah, the ballerina in that scene, makes me like bat for the other team for the 5 minutes that I'm watching the dance. And if you've seen it, you'll know what I mean. And I caught a shorts last night. I was going to post it because I thought it was funny. Because I just, I like to say the things out loud that people think. And it was like this girl dancing, Dirty Dancing, and she was watching the choreographer. And I was like, I'm questioning my sexuality when I'm watching the shorts. Do you know what I mean? Because it was like, this girl was so hot, which she was just like effortless, and she had like, lovely curly hair. She looked like, she was, I don't know what origin she was, but she's just cool as fuck. I'll let you post it. I'll post it for the guys and the women. But yes, I think it's clear from what I channel about all the time. I am not a lesbian, but people have questioned that over the years because I have been single over 20 years. But it's kind of like, but that was my choice. But yeah, wait for the one that gives back in the way that you give all that love. And I've got a lot of unconditional love. But yeah, basically affection returned. I feel that's definitely what it's about, because that is quite sweet in Magic Mike at the end too, because she gets a really big shock and he knows her a lot better than she thought. Which, yeah, that's definitely like this journey. Um, right. And it's like, how do you know? Because you don't even, and I'm like, well, I just know. I guess maybe one day I'll find out why I'm saying that, but I know. Right, okay, so for all of us, your twin flame always keeps an eye on you, even if it's just energetically. And they do know you better than you think they do. Right, so, but you can't skip the step of getting to know each other again if you haven't seen them for a long, long time. Right, what's another one? Yes, and that, I've not seen that card yet. Healing heart. Healing heartbreak, toxicity or addiction, abusive relationship. OMG, the bit when I just said Pam was in a, toxic relationship. And again, he doesn't get loads of kind of screen time because he's he's not meant to be really a big deal, because the whole thing is homed in on the romance with like them being in love and not really doing about it for years. Um, like and I'm glad I watched it all like just the way I have, like 20 years later, because I would have been tearing my head out if I was having to wait and watch that, because I think they dragged out over like 4 years. Yeah, like she said, it must have been 4 years. You're like, oh, for fuck's sake, when are they going to get together? So 4 years could have been significant, 3 or 4 years, because I've just said 3 years first. But yeah, I really do feel at least someone in some of the, this isn't everyone, so I'm just pulling out for whoever the collective resonates. Some of the twin flames, whether you're the feminine or the masculine, that you've been in an abusive relationship and you've needed to heal from it, and like a codependent addiction, whether it was ages ago or whether it's been more recent or whether it's now, praying for the people that are still in things like that. But like I said, with the alignment of Juno, which was not yesterday, it was the day before, I thought, oh, that's kind of nuts. Like I clipped shorts from the live, but like right as although I had mentioned it, that was like a massive day for karmic relationships, like breaking down and like the truth really being seen, that I've learned all I can learn from this relationship. So because that's, you see, because Juno's now moved into Sagittarius, it's like about a brand new start, an adventure. And again, it doesn't always need to be with someone new. When it comes to twin flames, if someone is with a karmic partner, it is that. But for other people, if you're in a relationship, it could just be like a new start in the same relationship, but there's big changes. Florida and Rose. What did I just say? Clarity. Clarity and truth. Revelations, honor and protection, determination. Yeah. So just homing in on that. There's huge clarity coming in for people after I just described the crystal clear clarity, which is quite funny because my main session is called Crystal Clear Clarity. I think that's all we need. Yeah, and someone's going to start chasing. The chaser, fear of abandonment, chasing codependencies. So although it says that at the bottom, there are some people that are in this or healing from it, and there's others that are about to. They're basically the runners about to become the chaser. Oh my god, and I love that picture. Love. What did I start saying? Love, love, love. Do, do, do. I want that for the thumbnail now. What is that for the thumbnail? Manifesting miracles. Unconditional love, self-love and wholeness, affection and attraction, selflessness. Wait a minute, let's. Popping off for dinner, so we'll catch up later. Yes, that's fine. Enjoy your dinner. But yeah, oh my god, love and wedding rings. So remember, this doesn't need to be literal, although, when it's Christmas and that kind of shit always happens to at least some people. But union and marriage, it says union on it. So union and marriage, soul connection, everlasting love, devotion. So sorry, that top's doing that again, fuck's sake. And hopefully I'm finally releasing a bit of weight, so it might be falling off me even more. Right, so right, I think that's all we need from that. So let's get a Mary Magdalene card now. Is that tight or no? It's not wet off yet. Right. What have we got? Because I can just feel again, whenever I was talking about Mary Magdalene, Jesus, and Mother Mary a lot last night, but actually this colour is all I always associate this colour with Mother Mary and Jesus. So and so if you're new to me, if you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? All the colour, whatever I'm wearing is always part of the message. And I was actually planning on wearing my sexy red top because it's Christmassy and I just want an excuse to wear it. I wear it on an everyday anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know about cutting about if I was going somewhere. I don't know, but I'm definitely wearing it because you know what I mean. It's just it's just nice. But yeah, I don't think I'll probably I don't know. I may wear it on Monday or something. But yeah, the fact that it's changed up as well, it's like that kind of energy is around. So, oh, now this is kind of like what I was describing my makeup looked like on the second day. Because look, that's really weird. Because like I did say, it was like I'd morphed into that like goddess Isis energy, which is this is what this card's about. See the winged eyeliner? Because I don't usually do that. I've done it again today actually. It's like I said, it's because I keep getting caught up watching hair shorts and makeup shorts and that, and I'm like, oh yeah. Nothing is lost that cannot be found. So I feel before I even read that from the book, I feel this is about if you feel like you lost a twin flame connection and you're scared you're not going to get it back, nothing that is lost can ever be found, because this is going to go into talking about the fact that Goddess Isis, was able to put her lover Osiris, her twin flame, back together. Now, I always use that analogy for like soul retrieval because because everything I do is soul retrieval anyway, but it's like with twin flames, it's like that is, you're as the feminine, you are healing your own soul, and if you're wise to it, you go to a shaman and you get soul retrievals as well as doing the shadow work and all the other stuff and setting boundaries. Um, and as you are piecing your own soul back together, you are helping them. And again, not at the same time, but it's kind of like that. Then eventually it has a knock on effect. So, right, okay, so let's see. And 39 could have been an important age for people that resonate. So, Queen of the Sun, nothing is lost that cannot be found. What you perceive as gone may be retrieved if sought, bearing in mind that lost items may change form, appearance, or condition. So, yeah, absolutely. This feels like about people returning to your life that are like, they've changed a lot. So that is either you or it's your person. In truth, it's both of you. The story of Isis and Osiris parallels the story of Mary Magdalene Yeshua. And so do the stories of Inanna and Dumuzi. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And Aphrodite and Adonis. The death of the solar king and the bride searching the earth to bring him back was a well known narrative in ancient times. Osiris was murdered by his brother and his body cut up and dispersed. Isis, to give a more modern take, gathered the pieces of her beloved until she had enough of Osiris's DNA to clone him and make herself a son, Horus. Bit dark, that isn't it? But I like to describe it the way I described it. This is not as far-fetched as it sounds for highly evolved beings who were far ahead in science and molecular biology, and all of that's awakening on the planet. That's the new Earth frequency we're in. And we're very much in the huge, big timeline split that I've been channeling about for the past 10 years. But yeah, big time. Because I'm just thinking about when I posted the link to when I had the chat with Lexi, I even titled that like timeline split. So there's a lot of things that I might have said in that could be relevant to now. Both Isis and Horus were depicted with wings in art and sculpture, a well-known symbol for beings who descended from the heavens. By around the 3rd century BCE, the worship of Isis had spread from Egypt to Rome. Initiation into the cult of Isis involved a symbolic death and resurrection. The priestess bride anointed the initiate in a reenactment of the death of Osiris, solar king, and his return to the corporal world. Again, it was different times, guys. This ceremony is mirrored in the sacred marriage and fertility rituals, which is why I always stress. And so, I don't say it all the time, but when it's relevant, I do. It's not a coincidence that when I'm doing my mediumship, I always pick up on like very young children and even as young as like babies. Like, I think we all know how, I don't know if you're like saying these words, but I pick up on children in spirit, however young, and I pick up on taboo things like if someone's been murdered and all that kind of stuff. And no, it doesn't need to be that dark, but just things that other mediums maybe wouldn't like go there. And but yeah, because Goddess Isis is the goddess of fertility, like, and I work very closely with her. I'm always helping people with like perimenopause, menopause, infertility issues in either men or women. And like the most amazing story that I've got from that's probably about 12 years ago now, because it was before I started all my social media under this name. And basically I sent somebody distant healing, 30 minutes distant healing, and they'd been trying for a baby for ages. And, she just serendipitously came across me on the platform that I was on at the time. And so bear in mind, my face wasn't seen or anything. This was just this woman trusting. And I think I was posting stuff though, but I hadn't showed my face or anything. Like that was when I was really in a fear of being seen. And anyway, long story short, sent her a distant healing, and she got back to me saying that directly after the healing, she'd got pregnant, and so I mean, God, her son's going to be like I said, 12 or something. So yeah, it was a total miracle, and it was kind of like the feedback she gave me was like it's very. I get overwhelmed whenever anybody's saying something nice anyway, but like. And like I said, so that's what I always try to stress to people. You shouldn't judge a book by its cover, because when I post my reviews and stuff, that took me a lot to push through my fear to do that. And because I'm Scorpio rising conjunct my Pluto, if I didn't do that, I'd be completely too mysterious and too hidden. So, I have to promote my business in some sort of way. And I'm really grateful when people in the chat are sharing about sessions and stuff like that. But yeah, I remember back then I got really overwhelmed. Like I was crying my eyes out and that. Obviously I was happy for them, but I was like, oh my God, like what the fuck am I? Do you know what I mean? Because like that was like long before. I'm just trying to think, yeah. I think that was long before any type of like formal training or anything. Long before it. So that's what I mean about like I did go down the route of that, but I was actually always healing people like that from like the get-go. Um, and so yeah, this talking about the sacred marriage, that is what twin flames are. That's why, a lot of people will describe that it's felt like you've been married the whole time, like in the astral realms. But obviously that has its problems because if in the physical, that's not the fucking case. You know what I mean? It's like you have to be in touch with reality. But it can be very hard if you just feel so connected to this person. So again, we can play a little violin there for me when I met mine that fucking young. I mean, talk about cruel, but anyway, things happen the way they're meant to happen. But it does mean that it goes the same for him. But again, I do the masculine, I think, experience is a little bit different. But that link was made all that time ago. Um, so be open and search, and when you find what you seek, accept and transformation. Change may only be constant, but it's often hard to adjust. Persevere and embrace change in its current configuration. So that's quite funny because that's actually the Mary Magdalene deck. But like I said, Mary Magdalene, Goddess Isis are very linked. But it's like that's quite interesting that I felt Goddess Isis working with me the strongest this week. If you watch day 2, because I even done a separate Goddess Isis channeling, and out of all those cards, on every card it's got Mary Magdalene or Mary Magdalene Jesus, and I think there's one Mary Magdalene Sarah, and that's the only one that has Goddess Isis. So that's really sort of stressing that. What does that say? The calling, you're beckoned. Yes, because this is about getting you to follow your calling as well. Right, so we'll just shuffle a wee Jesus card too, and then actually, wait a minute. With God, all things are possible. Oh my God. Sorry. Again, that doesn't really go with, what I mean? I can't help it. I do say, oh my God, all the time. I'm, I'm sure they forgive me for it, but yeah, with God, all things are possible. Put that in the title. Watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. So I feel that is about those of you like male and female that you have at some point be pulled into like or seduced by karmic temptation to forgive yourself because they target twin flames. Like I said, I've been targeted too. I just haven't taken up the offers. Testimony. And that's my testimony. And that's the fucking truth too. Love is stronger than death. Oh my God, when I've just spoke about Goddess Isis and the sinus. Wow, love is stronger than death. Oh, and also Jesus and Mary Magdalene, of course. Right, okay, so that's what wanted to come in there. How long have you been on the twin flame journey, and when did you decide to do what you do? Sorry, those are big questions. I've been on the twin flame journey 23 years, if you count when I met him. 23 years next year, because I don't quote me on this, but for some reason I feel like it was like I feel like it was like a January or February or something. I do think it was like near the start of a year, and but I'm quite strict with things. I don't consider myself consciously waking up to what we were for 15 years, but I'm pretty sure I think I'll be able to say 16 years next year. So yeah, but again, I knew, again, that's the only way I can describe it is I fancied him like I can't even put the words like I was like, oh my God, like I think I fancy him too much. I don't think I could, you know what I mean? Like even look at him, it annoys me, but like yeah, it was quite overwhelming. And also because I had just split up with like my karmic, it was, I was still in, wrapped up in manipulation. But he was a welcome distraction, my twin flame. And yeah, and what was funny was the night we met, he actually said he'd just split up with someone too. So okay, we don't know if that's true, but the story did match up because it was like it was the same amount of time that I'd went out of mine and he'd went out of it. So yeah, but um yeah, but I always count it, the 15, 16 years ago because that's when there was a moment where something happened and I just saw this flash of light come out his eyes and I'm pretty sure like he's done something to me. It's his fault, he's activated something in me. And I just saw these flashes of like past lives and the future as well. And I was like, oh, holy fuck. And I was like, what the hell? Like it was like kind of any kind of confusion I had kind of like, went away of it. And then yeah, and then he was all loved up as well when he left me. And then but as soon as I shut the door, I was like, oh my God, I think this is short lived. I feel like he's gonna forget this or like be freaked out by it. And I'd say I was pretty fucking spot on with that one because we did see each other a few times after that, but because I was like really freaked out by what I was feeling, like I think he could have read it as I didn't like him anymore. When really I was like, oh my God, he's the love of my life. How did I not see this before? Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, and like so. Of course, you'll know that now from me doing this, but yeah. So it would just be quite nice to hear the other side of the story at some point. But you know, um, and I've been doing this for 11 years next year, talking about ascension and awakening and stuff. But and although I did touch on twin flames, I never said that I was one, although it was obvious. And all of my private clients from the very start they've all been twin flames. But I was just very shy about, well, I didn't want to make it awkward for him. And obviously, you know, well, I've made it awkward from him for the past 4 years. But it's kind of like, but that's about speaking your truth. Like I had to make a like that. Who knows? But my calling is to do this. Like that it always will be. I'm a twin flame shaman. That has been. I don't need somebody to clarify that to me. But when I've been in my shamanic groups, when I've been in my mediumship things, I've had other people channel, you know, spirit, great spirit and stuff. And like I've even tried to do some like, you know, not like what I was gonna say fuckery, but what I done was like when I was at a mediumship thing once, I asked about twin flames and the person's guide, like the person channeled, why is this person asking us when that is their expertise? And my God. So you know what I mean? There's like I said, there's loads of things like that. But yeah, I started talking about this more openly and telling all my wee personal stories. Um, I don't know if it's 4 years ago or 5 years. 5 years ago, we'd make it. I think it will be 5 years next year. But I mean, fucking hell, I hope I'm not still doing it in the same way exactly this time. Anyway, whatever, something like that. So, but it was like the can of worms were opened and I couldn't close it, kind of, and it felt quite liberating too. Do you know what I mean? Like I was shiting myself at first, and I was like, "Fuck it, I just need to do it." So how have you managed to keep it up? I just because it's my soul's calling, and when it's your so that's quite interesting. That card said calling, but when it's your calling, it's your calling, and that's why it's like I always say that thing. It's not my thing, but I don't know who said it. But your calling wasn't a conference call. Other people aren't meant to understand it. Like I've had other people like see that in my chart as well, like loads of different people that it's like no, that is definitely like I said, but I know that. Like it's like this is my divine purpose. But my divine purpose is also tied into the mediumship for anyone, not just twin flames, and helping children and inner child, and obviously through the channeled astrology, and well, just healing in general, because I can heal people like that. You know what I mean? It's a waste to be like, oh, it's only twin flames, but it's like I can't help that the bulk of my work is always going to go back to love, and it's always going to be about twin flames. But that's why I say I do feel I wouldn't be surprised if it's next year that I just set up a totally different channel that is for everyone. But I'll still attract loads of twin flames. So, and the thing is, see, if you're saying how did you manage to keep it up? What bit do you mean? Because I sometimes wonder myself how I've been able to get. Do you know what I mean? Like it's because I get people that have been watching me do this for ages. Like I do get so fucking bored and drained of the same repetitive stories coming out, and also it's extremely excruciatingly painful. And like I always say, like this is really blunt, but I'm being honest. Like I can't help that I'm a twin flame and I'm a twin flame healer. But if I wasn't a twin flame, there's literally no way I would. I can't say that for certain because I'm not. I am the person. You know what I mean? I'm who I am. But I wouldn't put up with half the stuff that um like I wouldn't like have that much faith in somebody, but it's because I know he is my twin flame. That's you know what I mean. I mean it's just again I get the downloads and the activations and stuff because I say this all the time, but Sagittarius is about the future, and those of you that follow lots of other people in that too. And like I said, I keep it anonymous whether it's good or definitely the bad stuff because I've got North Node and Gemini in 8th house, so that is part of my purpose, to talk generally about good and bad experiences. But I very often do get the big message before some of these big massive channels, and people that watch me regularly or that have watched it, like you'll be able to see that. Like I see it because I follow lots of people too. I don't always get time to watch all of it, but I'm like, oh my god, like it's happened 3 times this week where I'm like, I literally told that story like last week. But what's quite funny is some people have got like, if you copy my story, blah blah. But I'm kind of like, but I could claim that people were, you know what I mean, copying it. But I don't look at it like that because it's like we're all tapping into the Akashic records if you're genuine. But it's just whatever it is I'm doing, I tend to pick up on it. Like I'm one of the first ones to pick up on it. Like when I'm like saying things about, I don't know, anything that comes out of my mouth about like twin flame elders or the elephants or the dolphins, that like if I say I don't know why I'm saying that, but then all I know is I'll then see somebody else saying it after me, and it's kind of like they're not copying me because it's a big massive channel. It's like we're all tuned into the same frequency, and that's why it's important that I'm so public, like, and quite a lot, because I've got a Leo midheaven, because it attracts the people that need to hear the message. But I'm a bit of a funny one because they definitely do suppress, they don't show my stuff because the amount of people this week that have said that they didn't even know I was doing the challenge and they haven't got the notifications is a lot. And that's just in general that happens. So, but again, with this, I don't bother too much about that. It's just to kind of highlight some of the services that I might not talk about all the time. And it helps people, basically, like I said, it's about ascension. This helps people jump to their highest timeline if you took all the steps. So it's like I said, it's not too late. You can go back and watch day one, and you don't need to watch the live streams too, but I probably would recommend that you do. But at least watch the prompt videos and work through it in your own 5 days. And all I would ask is leave me a wee review, like, send me an email and tell me, and we can put that out anonymously. But, I'm one of the New Earth way showers that is here to do my bit for the collective. So, and like I said, like there's every chance that I finish this tomorrow and I have not made a penny. So and so any kind of win, like sales that I get, is I'll be delighted. But it's because I'm not bothered about money. Like as long as I've got food in my fridge, and I've got food in my fridge, and I'm doing another Christmas shop because I would like to go overdo it. And I was like, but I had to work it out. I always like to work out my shop. I'm like, wait a minute, like I'm doing that, and that. So it was like I had to like take all the stuff off my trolley so it wasn't kind of crazy. But I am abso-fucking-lutely, which doesn't make sense when I've been working on releasing weight. And I say releasing rather than lost, by the way, because we don't want to find it. Unless you need to put on weight, and I could help you with that too. But I am needing to release weight, and I am eventually. I'm going to pig out. I'm going to pig out. I just am, because like I love crisps, and I've been denying myself from crisps. I've not had coffee now for over a year. I will go back to it at some point, but I'm not missing it. Every now and again I do. Like, sometimes I'm walking on the beach, I'm like, it would be nice to have a cappuccino. But because I know I'm gonna have it again at some point, and you never know, like I don't know if I've even said this. I think I maybe did at some point, but I'm gonna say it now. Think about it. If I have given up something that I really loved every single day that was a massive dopamine hit for me, that'll be something for my twin flame too. You know what I mean? Like me doing that will have had an effect in his life. So, for whatever, that's his business for whatever. But like, and that's why I do like a lot of fasts. And when I fast and pray at the same time. And when I do the really big sort of 3 day ones and stuff, I'm praying and fasting to break off the demons and the negative attachments from the collective. So specifically, like kind of the people that tune in to me here. But I mean, I send love out to the whole of the world. So yeah, it's weird, guys. It is. And again, I've had some people that don't know me very well. You could think like I'm talking bullshit and all that, but it's not. Like this is just I've literally saved people's lives, and a lot of the reviews you see, like I said, like you couldn't write reviews because it's too heavy. But because like I did share this not long ago that like I got my own personal mediumship reading when I was off, when the sun was going through my 12th house. And that was actually a really lovely moment when my grandma came through, who died when I was 15. And she was just basically saying like, how many people's lives have changed around, specifically from like addictions and like drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. Like more people than I could even know. And I mean, I know because I've helped clients with that and stuff, but that really meant the world to me, because it's like, we all want to leave some type of legacy, and it's like, well, at least I know I've literally helped people break free from the dark side of it. You know what I mean? It's because, like I said, it's deliverance that I do. And the weird thing is, if you're brand new to me, like I wasn't brought up religious, like not at all. Like the closest I've come to that is like maybe some Christmas Eves when I was wee, my mum would take me to watch the carols and that, but I don't think we can even count that. Like my dad totally isn't all of this. Like totally isn't into all of this. And then like um but yeah, that just naturally flooded through too. So who knows? You know, in a past life, maybe I must have been really connected to stuff like that. But yeah, and that's what I said last night. Is I'm proud of myself because there's a lot of people that could kind of know this stuff about them privately, but they would never dare say it to people around them, or definitely not in public. But I've just been talking like this since I started the live streams. Like, you know what I mean? Like years and years and years ago. And that's what I mean by it. It's like, because I'm just a constant channel the whole time. Sometimes some of the stuff I'm saying, I've not even got a fucking clue why I'm saying it. And then it's just people will be like, oh, yeah, you've just read my life. Um, basically. Um, so, all right, helping people, videos, session. Right. So I started right from the beginning. Like I started about, well, like I said, I was doing stuff online anonymously and I was sending distance healing and stuff. I don't know when I would have started that, like 2013, 14 or something. And then I set up Crystal Clear Visions in 2015 and I started doing the sessions and all of that, right away. And then I did have a wee break in between because I went through my big dark night of soul. And I personally don't believe you should work with people in your big dark night of soul. You need to channel all that energy into yourself because you're feeling like shit. And basically, but after that, I helped a lot of other people through their dark night of soul. And a lot of those people are now doing similar to me. Like, they'll be helping the collective, helping their own big communities and stuff. So, like, bigger than me, actually, some of them. So yeah, no idea how I managed to stumble across you and a few others. It's so hidden. Yeah, well, we're a hidden gem round here. And again, it's not just me. I might run the channel, but I always say this is our channel. I think most people go on spending sprees at Christmas. I usually do, but I can't this year. Yeah, a lot of people do. So keep forgetting to leave a review. Oh my god. Well, again, it's never too late. You've remembered now. So actually, wait a minute. Bex, did you get my email? Did you get that? Because again, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I had actually, I don't know if I asked the question in the email. I think I just emailed you, but, and I know you can miss emails like me, but I'll just ask you, I was actually wondering if you wanted to come on and talk because, I mean, and no pressure at all, but definitely do it another time if you don't, because I'm going to run the challenge again next month and probably February as well. But I think I'm just going to keep it ongoing. But because that was always my plan. But I just didn't have the energy. The past few years, I just didn't have the energy. But I do feel like I'm. Oh right, I didn't think you'd seen it. Yeah, I can't remember if I just outright asked you, but it was just basically yeah. Don't worry about it. I most of the time don't miss emails, but every now and again I do. But actually, funnily enough, the ones I miss, it was always people that turned out to be shady. Like, they were, yeah, anyway. Like that is nuts how they do that. Like one got caught like in the spam folder, and when I did eventually open it, it was like so fucking long, and it was just draining my energy. Yeah, so I was definitely being protected. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It was what I usually do is I usually talk to somebody on the fourth day or the fifth day, and just so normally it's long-term clients, but I'm not being funny, but I thought I can't have Lexi again. We'll have her again another time, but Lexi's the person that I've had a chat with the most because I have done a lot of work with Lexi over the years. I'm really proud of her, but I thought I need to get something different. But yeah, so just if you are new to me and you've never seen any of them, or even if you've been here all the time, you didn't realize I've got a playlist where I've done interviews with people where we've done therapy or we've done my packages of 4, or some it will be talking about individual sessions. So I don't know, you sprang to mind because maybe you haven't done the review because you were meant to just have a wee chat on the Zoom. So, but would that be something that put the shiters up yet, or would you like to do it? Because we could do it tomorrow if it's too because it was just what I was thinking of is like I don't know if you're going to be well you're going to be able to remember the feeling and that's the point, but it was just because I wouldn't I won't forget your session because of the way your mum came through the whole time, and it was just synchronicity after synchronicity after synchronicity, wasn't it? So again, when it comes to homing in on the synchronicities, it would be specific to you. Let's be blunt, other people aren't really going to be interested in that, but it's just if you kind of um I don't know. Because even I remember as well, like for people that are like, that was lovely when you had just found us. And then I can't remember exactly what you said, but I remember you saying something like you feel like, um, oh, I can't remember what you said. But it was either something like you feel like you belong now or you feel safe enough to speak up. If it wasn't that, it was something I read, and that really, that stayed with me. Like I remember, I noticed everything, and like that, you know, like I said, I'm just really glad if one person felt like that. But I know that a lot of people feel like that don't talk. So my brain is so flooded with science, but I might be able to remember more than I might. But yeah, this is the thing. You just trust your guide. You'll just chat. It's kind of really all people want to know is, and this is quite good that I'm just saying this in public because I just say this in private too. All people want to know is how did you feel prior? And also, because you hadn't followed me for that long, because I remember, like, what I noticed, what sticks with me about you is when you said that you didn't feel safe enough to speak up and stuff. And then literally after watching for a few days, you were talking in the chat and, you felt the shift and stuff like that was really lovely. But then it was also what I noticed, because I said this in your session, what I thought was lovely was like there was one time you were on, you donated like, $2 or whatever, and then another time you donated like $2, and then you donated like a fiver, and then you maybe donated a bit more, and then you booked a session. And like that's what I always say is that like look, everyone has to start where they are. And sometimes it can literally be that money's a bit tight, but other times it's to do with self-worth. And so that's what I teach people is like whether it's me or anyone, just start with like spending a wee bit of money on yourself, even if it's the smallest amount, and then build it up. Because like I said the other day, I was really proud when one of my close friends the other day was like, I'm definitely being guided to book a healing next month. And I don't know if she does watch, she'll get guided to watch some of this like now and again. I don't know. I don't think she watches it all because it's just, it's all the stuff I do is really long. She's got a family and everything. But like, you know, I'll definitely say that to her when I see her. That it's like, I'm noticing that like that is definitely like, I'm worth it. Because she would always, spend the money on the kids and things for the house and her husband and everything. So it's nice to, that she's doing that for her. Yeah, I really didn't trust people and I couldn't let people in. And I tried to put money aside and shifts were good at work. Yeah, and that's the thing, it all aligned. Because what I always say to people, especially if anyone's ever like, oh, I've not got the money, ask your guides and ask spirit, ask God, whatever you call yours, be like, right, if it's to do with me, like, you know what I mean? Like for anything though, I do this for bills and stuff too. And it's amazing how it just comes about miraculously. Say, right, I really want to do that session with Claire. Like, please send me the money to do it. Or go big. I really want to do that package with Claire. I feel that would really help me. Please send me the money to do it. I don't know how you're going to do that because that seems impossible. But and that's what I said last night. Let go of the how. You'll hear people say that all the time, but it's true. Let go of the how. That's what a miracle's about. And so that sounds like that happened to you. But the thing I always say is, if you're specifically asking about being sent money to do a session with me and you get that money, what a lot of people have done in the past, and look, I've done this before too, I've learned from my mistakes in that way, is if you then like flitter that money away on other stuff and then you're like, oh, I don't mean, you've not kept your end of the deal, because if you specifically were like, right, I want to do that because that'll help me. Oh my God, wait a minute, I need to screenshot that. I know people are going to believe me. That's giving me chills. I've got chills all over my body. When I was talking about The Office, the bit I didn't say was every time I now hear Chris Brown forever, my eyes start welling up because that's the song that gets played at the wedding. And it's literally just came on. It's literally just came on. And they've put that on because I forgot to say that bit. Oh my God. Anyway, that's pretty nuts. Out of all the songs in the world, because you know what I mean? When I forget to say something, they remind me. So they're showing you there. Like, because actually, funnily enough, the card when I was shuffling this is on Manifest. And like I said, actually, that's the review I put from somebody that had done a course with me years ago as well. Was she wrote that once she prayed for, before she met me, she prayed for a shaman and a Reiki master, and then she got led to me because I'm both. You know what I mean? And her reviews, like I love that review, and because it was like I'd done a course. It was like through Facebook, I'd done it in a private group, and it was like I'd done it about all about the root chakra. So it was all about like feeling safe in your body, money, manifesting and stuff. And you know, well, that review speaks for itself. It was a really lovely review, and I think she's a coach now or something. Because she was a lot younger than me. She was probably about your age actually, but she was really sweet. And yeah, but that happened there because I'd forgot to say that. My guides are showing me that song. But look, manifest, co-creation, gratitude, divine alignment, joyful visions. And look, I was talking about visions too. But that's the thing is, I'm a manifestation coach. I just don't choose to use that label. And again, if I did, would I get more in the algorithm? Of course I would. But I don't know. I just feel the business, you know, the social media is saturated with people claiming they're a manifestation coach. And like I said, a lot of the way that people tend to teach that, I don't agree with it, and it doesn't really resonate. So, but that's what true shamans help you do, is manifest things in your life. Like literally every session I do with somebody, it helps them manifest something in their life. So, you know, because we put it out there. Because that's what my Create Your Vision package is all about too. Like you tell me what it is you want, and we'll work on it over 4 sessions. And every person that's ever done that has got what they visualize and so much more. Lexi being one of them, and actually that's in the playlist. I spoke about that the other day, but you know, she basically I said this the other day, but I'm saying it again that like, you know, she just lost her job and she was panicking. And so, you know, we done some work together, which, you know, if you just lost your job, a lot of people wouldn't take that risk. But, you know, she knows that I get results for people. And long story short, you know, she'd wanted to be a tattoo artist. And now, you know, fast forward, and it wasn't, by the way, the fast forward wasn't very long. I'm sure that all happened in a year or something. She's got her own shop. You know what I mean? She's been doing that a few years now. So do you know what I mean? It's anything's possible. That's why not all towers are bad. That was a good tower. That was meant to happen to her to, you know, to put her where she is. Um, and that's definitely happening to a lot of people right now. You know, like there's apparent bad towers happening, but who knows where it's actually going to lead you to? So you got to trust. Um, um, yeah, but yeah. So I don't know, putting you on the spot a little bit, but would you want to like talk tomorrow or even tonight? You could jump on. I don't think when I'm on a day on it, but again, if you don't want it this time round, it's fine. You can talk the next time I do it because I think I'll do it in a few weeks. But yeah, I usually always have at least one, if not two people sharing about their experience. And I did it was so last minute. I literally only done it on the Sunday or the Monday. And one of my therapy clients and someone that's been in my membership and everything that I'd worked with for years, she's, you know, it's been a long time coming for her to share experience, and her, when it does, it'll be worth the wait. But yeah, unfortunately, like she's in one of the parts of the world where there's a lot of terrible weather and stuff. So there was, yeah, so it wasn't the right time. But she was like, "Oh, I'd love to do it next year sometime." So she's definitely going to come and share. I'm worried about being too sciencey. What? What do you mean too sciencey? Actually, do you know what, Bex? Right, what I'd said in the email, I can't even remember. But if you've read it now, I'm sure I said something like, because it is kind of scary. I know you said you'd done that before with someone, but because it is quite brave and a bit scary to go live with someone and do it. Me and you could just film it on our own, you know, like me and you could just film it on our own, and yeah, you know what I mean. And it doesn't need to be long either. Like it's like that's literally it. I always think with a review, people just want to know, how did you feel before? How did you feel during? Did you enjoy the session? How did you feel after? And how's it, you know, shifted things in your life? Um, And yeah, I mean, and you can share anything about, because like I said, you're a really good example because you found us and you quickly booked a session. People don't do that. Tani's the other one that done that, but people can watch me for years and not book a session. And it's not always about the money, because some people have been tuning in for years and years and years. But maybe we're just not got a sole contract to work. But maybe I feel a lot of it is people that don't value this kind of work. But then what I always think as well, and I don't know exactly who this would speak to, but it's kind of like you've got to sort of question it if you're tuning into a lot of stuff or everything that I do, but you've never booked a session. It's, it would be different if I didn't offer sessions, because obviously some Oracle and tarot readers are like that, but because I do, and then if you've got so much help from all the stuff, personally, when it's me, when I've done that, I do then, I do book something with the person because it just feels a bit weird. I think just karma wise, but again, maybe you've just not got a sole contract. If you would know, because if you are feeling really really pulled to me and you don't know why, it's like unexplainable, then that is, I'm telling you, there's something that we need to do together. So I don't know who that would be out there, but I've drank a lot of water, guys, so I'm actually needing a pee now. TMI. So, but I think, I think this was what it was, and this was what it was meant to be. So, but yeah, Bex, just let me know, because if you were, I don't know though, are you around like either tonight or tomorrow, and we can quickly film it, and then at least there's something to go. But no, but like if you don't want to do it, you don't need to. But it was like I said, it was just the other people that I had in mind. Everyone's kind of going through a little bit of a tower moment, like. So it was a bit kind, you know what I mean? And I'm always last minute, but it usually always works out that I've got someone. But um, yeah, you can let me know in the email if you don't want to say here. Um, the song "To Be Loved," "Am I Ready?" Lizzo is on. I don't know what that's like, but the wording is interesting. Are you ready to be loved? Right. um, Forgiveness. See the bigger picture. Oh, it's that one again. See the bigger picture. That's exactly what this new moon in Sagittarius is all about. Seeing the bigger picture, trust and heal. And specifically on the twin flame journey, that is something you do need to do. And again, you asked me, how did I do it? That's how I done it. I've got a Sag moon, and you've got a Sag moon, haven't you? I was able to see the bigger picture. Little bit too exhausted tonight, but I'm free after work tomorrow. What time is that? And that's absolutely fine. I'm fucking exhausted tonight too. But what time's that? Because it wouldn't take long. Is it before I do this? Yeah, it'll be before I do this. I go live at 8. So if you can do that, well, yeah, let me know. Then look, and then there you go. If that ends up happening, that's just proved what I've just said. It always ends up working out, even when I'm like not planned that very well. It's like because the guides know ahead of time. It was meant to be. And again, it's not a big deal. Don't like make a big massive deal about that. It's just sharing a wee bit. It's just because maybe you're a bit like me. Maybe you're better speaking your experience and writing it. Telos Adama, Inner Earth, Etheric Retreats, Family of Light. Family of Light, Inner Earth, very significant right now. Family of Light is the card that comes up for tomorrow. Oh, that's perfect then. Anytime after 3:30, that's perfect. Right, I'll email you after this. See, it's worked out. Love it. Absolutely love it. Right, I'm going to just pull one of these Lemuria cards again, and then I think we'll call it a night, because I mean, tomorrow, spoiler alert, tomorrow, not a spoiler alert, but tomorrow's more of a celebration. And like I said, it's been a bit quiet. I never really know though, because like I said last night, it said there was 2 people watching the whole time, because right now it's saying 3 people watching, and I got off and 40 people had been watching. So who knows? I'll see what it is this time when I get off. And I don't know what it's at now. I didn't look to see. But in the one, the one from the other night's like nearly 100. I think that's it. And by the way, I'm talking about the tower. I've got exactly 1,660. So 16 sticking out to me there. So that's tower moments too. That's what I predicted a few days ago. There's definitely big tower. But there's always going to be big towers going on when with the Juno, the Black Moon, Lilith, and Scorpio, and the last of it could be ugly, could be empowering, could be ugly for some people. It's just going to be different but it's definitely showing you what you desire. And if you're somewhere where you're not feeling it, that's going to be highlighted it. And yeah, all these galactic active. Well, I channeled it all last night. Spontaneous awakening. That's what's happening. So can all change overnight. What was I doing there? Oh yeah, I was just going to look and see. Yeah, so the one last night's got 60 views. But I was saying two people are watching the whole time. I had 40 right after. So 20 people have watched it. And I mean, that's a lot because it's nearly 4 hours. So, I mean, it doesn't mean they've watched the whole thing, like, but, and then, oh yeah, that's funny. I just said that was 100. It's 99 views right now. So, and like I said, it's got a fair few likes. So people are tuning in. Yeah, day one's got a lot actually. It's only got 70 views, but it's got a lot of likes, which is telling me people like, hi, like this. Thank you, I appreciate it, because that's why I turned the likes off, because nobody was fucking liking shit, and it's like, God, the least you could do is fucking like it. You know what I mean? I don't get comments, and I wasn't getting likes. It's like, why am I doing this? Do you know what I mean? But I told you why I'm doing it. It's my calling. I'm going to show up and do it anyway. But thank you if you do like and comment, and I understand if you don't, if you're shy and you don't want to. But yeah, that doesn't just go for me. That goes for anyone that does this. It takes a lot to sit here and do stuff like this. So the least you could there's a lot of people I watch. It's fucking mental. They could have like 5,000 views and like only like 200 people have liked the video, like. And if some people are like, oh yeah, people forget to. I don't understand that. How can you forget? That's the first thing I do. As soon as I click on somebody's video, I like it because they've sat their ass down to film. Like even if it's not my story. Like I don't. It's kind of like it's like, oh, I'll only do that if I liked it. It's like I don't think that's very nice, basically. So that's the way I approach things. But everybody's different, and I'll appreciate that. But nah, it's just a consistent thing that I see. Really hard working people, and I mean ones that churn stuff out a lot, and people can't even bother their arse to like the video. Like it's right. Anyway, rant over, but that definitely wanted to come. That's definitely the sun, the moon, Mercury, and all that jazz, and Sag. That's the motherfucking truth, and I'm owning it. Right, give us is the Twinflame card going to come out? So, guys, like I said, if anyone is privately lurking out there and you're interested in any of my services, whether it's the bigger packages that I've highlighted in the community tab, or it'll be in the comments after I finish this, like quite soon after I finish it. But I'll probably just put the link to the community tab. You just click on it and it'll take you to what I've wrote there. And so, like I said, I haven't put the links that take you to buy it in the post because it wasn't letting me, there's only so much writing you can put there. But I might just put it in the comments of the post because it would make it easier. Because some people don't want to, email and stuff. They just want to buy the thing and arrange the session. So, and yeah, for anyone else, like just, if you enjoyed this and you got help from it, it's a lot more, so much more working with me one-to-one, whether it's longer term or short term. And yeah, there's lots of things. You can check out the playlist or you can see what people say in the reviews. And just remember me for when you are ready to work. And just remember what I'd said to Bex there, that if you're like, oh, I really want to do that, but I haven't got the money, put it out to God or universe, whatever you call it. I want that, but say I want this exact amount of money, and I'll keep an eye out for when that comes out of nowhere, and then buy it before you spend it. Within reason, guys. What I always say is, make sure your priority bills and the things you need to pay are paid. Like common sense kind of thing, but some people need to hear it. But if you've actually specifically request, be open. It can happen, and it can happen really pretty quickly because it's my guides working with the people too. Like, because I always set the intention that I only want to work with people that really want to work with me and that are ready for it. Like, I don't do therapy with people if people aren't ready because you'll not get any results. Like, I've given this example loads, but this was again about 10 years ago. Somebody won. So can you imagine somebody won a therapy package, right? So it was a lot of money then, and it's a hell of a lot more money now because it's therapy mixed in with coaching, right? It's really you get access to everything that I do because I kept trying to do it as therapy. It wasn't working. I kept wanting to coach people and all that. But Yeah, she showed up for. She's a lovely woman, but she showed up for the first session, and then I think she showed up for the second one, and then see when it got to the third one, she was making up all these excuses. And I mean, me and her spoke about this, and she said I could talk about it. Well, that was ages ago. It was years ago anyway now. And we both agreed she just wasn't ready. So there you go. Even if you get something like that, a massive big opportunity could change your life. She wasn't ready. If you're not ready, you're not ready. And that's actually a very good lesson for anyone in life. If you feel someone would benefit from therapy or healing or coaching, they have to come to that conclusion themselves. And I mean, obviously, that's really apt for the twin flame journey. Um, but that goes for anyone. You know, people have got to come to that conclusion in their own time. Um, right. Trust your innocence. Ooh. And of course, it's the root chakra. When I was talking about my root chakra course, that's funny. I did think the other day, maybe I'm meant to run something like that again because people would still need it. Ground and center. So, root chakra, money. And what have I just been talking about? The root chakra, money. Right. So, trust your innocence. And if you've never heard me say this before, you're probably new. I am excellent at helping people manifest money because I've got Jupiter and Neptune and Capricorn. So I like that touch. That's hilarious. Just wanted to show a little support. Thank you. I like that touch. Um, right, 54. In fact, because again, because I'm going to end this, it doesn't look like there's anyone else. Right. Would you like a little affirmation? Then you mentioned the money. I know that is funny. Would you like a little affirmation from this? And then we'll read this. I'm singing Chris Brown forever now. It's you and me traveling through the speed of light into eternity. Tonight is the night. Oh, that's quite funny, isn't it? Because that does sound quite galactic. Beating at the. Quite funny. Right. Are you like that when you watch a film or a program and there's a song and it's a really like strong emotion? Do you connect it with the song? Because I've always been like that since I was young. Like I can't like it's like bad or good. It was like the other night when I said, I love the song "Wind Beneath My Wings," but when that was at my grandma's funeral, it reminds me of that. So, and by the way, for those of you that might have missed that, right, I said to the woman, Deb, I said, I wouldn't be surprised if you find beaches on the telly over the Christmas period. I said, or it might be me, because sometimes I find it and I'll post it. But Charlotte, literally, as I ended the live stream, found beaches on the telly. Like, so just in case that woman Debs tunes in again, like, we'll need to tell her when she. But I was like, I mean, it'd be amazing, more amazing if she actually sees it. But that's what I must have been feeling. Right. So, would you like one of these affirmations before I do this? And I'm going to jump into membership. I think it'll just last about another half an hour. I kind of said to myself, I was like, I want to be finished everything by 10:30. So, and so yeah, tomorrow's always a celebration. So tomorrow it's about, take just basically tomorrow is where it ends. So, keep taking it's your own personal responsibility. Keep well, it's always been all week, but keep taking action towards the things that scare you. And eventually you'll do something bigger. Like it's like if I keep doing these every couple of months or even every month, uh, you'll get it. You'll pick something small the first few times, and then you'll pick something bigger, and that's what's happened in the past for people. But like I said, it's a bit of an experiment that I'm still trying to work out because this so doesn't translate on YouTube. It just doesn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do know that some people will have been doing this, but when people don't let me know, like, is this even helpful? Like, how did you feel before? How you like, do you know what I mean? When people don't give me the feedback, and it doesn't need to be in public. So that's what I'm basically saying. Like, if you did do this, I really would appreciate it if you've got the courage, like, if you email, because I mean, I'm not that scary. I know some people can, I don't know. Like, it's like I'm soft as shit. I'm only I'm only kind of my badass self if somebody's been a cheeky bastard. So you know what I mean? It's like it's not that scary. Um, but um, but yeah, basically what I'm saying is my idea was if this went really well to run it again January, February with different themes. But I'm going to have to sort of sit and ask my guides and stuff if I really want to do that because mine helped 100%. Mine 100% helped. Are you talking about our session? Or are you talking about this week? Have you been doing the challenge? I didn't know whether you'd um but yeah, I don't know because it like I said, look how tired I am. It takes me like so much of my energy. And I don't regret it because it's definitely do what's going on in the collective. Like there's a massive timeline shift, old earth ending, new earth beginning. It's always feels like it's forever going on, but there's really big stuff this week. So but if I was going to make a regular thing of it, like a session, yeah, I thought like I'm going to have to assess that. Like I said, I've been saying this for ages, but I think I'm going to have to run this challenge on Zoom or something, and it have a be like a paid session, because that's when people really put their skin in the game. You know what I mean? It's like people often don't appreciate stuff they don't pay for. I know that from myself. Like, you know what I mean? When I've been doing things as well. And then even fuck some things I've paid for I didn't utilise. Right. It's I've learned a lot of lessons, good and bad, over the years. But yeah, so if it did help you by the end of this and you want to let me know, even if it's ages down the line, that'd be helpful. But I know at least a few people have said the other day and that's helped them. But you can see for how many people are on the channel and for how many people watch, it's like what I just said about some of the other people I watch when it's like it's an imbalance. I don't know why, but lives are better for me. It takes me ages to watch videos. Oh, that's interesting. I kind of know what you mean though. Like I said, like I don't watch loads of people anymore, but like I said, there's some people that I only watch their lives. Like I don't watch their videos like this. So I do get what you mean. Like, um, yeah, everybody's got different taste. Um, so I don't know if you said, I think you said yes, you did say yes. So I am loved and accepted exactly as I am, right here and right now. And you see, that's kind of like what I was saying, like, that's what you said a few months ago when you found us, was like something like that. Like you feel like you can be yourself. I can't, it was something nicer than that. I could, if I really wanted to, I could go and find it, but I can't bother. Or something like that. I see the world through eyes of love and acceptance. All is well in my world. And it's because when somebody new joins and they really feel a connection to like me in the chat, people always usually do say something very similar like that. That it's like, oh, I don't normally talk in people's chats, but something made me feel safe enough to chat here. And I'm proud of that. You know what I mean? Because it is scary. I've said that before. Like, it's like I only talk in places I feel really safe. And I don't talk in a lot of places now. So I'm glad if people feel safe here. So trust your innocence, right? So I'm going to read this and oh, I didn't do the wee timer. Wait a minute. So yeah, I'm going to read this and I'm going to set a wee 5-minute timer. And then I'm going to go into membership. And if you'd like to be part of the membership in the second level upwards, but we're only operating in the first and the second just now, you get your cards once a month around the new moon. So I'm going to be doing the members cards on Monday when I do Mediumship Monday. And you get exclusive videos that don't get seen in public. Some you get first viewing, and the rest they just stay in there. There's loads. There's over 90 that I saw the other day. And I do spontaneous prayer circles. Usually try to hello Brandy. I'm just going. How are you doing? I usually try to get in there once a week. Sometimes it might be once every couple of weeks, but I try my best to be in there once a week. And I pray every day. I pray for everyone in the membership every day, and I pray for the whole channel. But obviously, I put more energy into it for the people that are, putting their energy in. And they feel it. People come and say that all the time. So thank you for people that do that. And I'm glad you feel safe and relaxed, Becca. That's lovely. And what else was I going to say? Because, yeah, Brandy, you said something like that the other day too, didn't you? Whatever you said the other day was lovely. Something about that you'd felt blocked and you feel like you're, I don't know, whatever you said, it was nice that you felt like that was opening up again. I don't know what else. If anyone wants to grab that free well, it's not, I keep saying free, 15-minute by donation, chat with me tomorrow about any of the offers, then do that. I'll be available from 3 in the afternoon UK time to strictly speaking, probably about 7 at night because I don't come on here till 8, but I'd rather 6 because I need to get ready and stuff. So yeah, just email me and I think that's it. Taking a business course for a business I'm trying to co-open. Oh, amazing. That's exciting. Hi, friend. It's Cher. Told you I'd come back. Hello, Cher. Welcome. Yes, you were the person the other day, weren't you? Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting you mixed up with... No, you're not the woman that I brought for your friend, are you? Or are you? I'm not getting mixed up. Maybe you are. That would make sense if you are, because I just told that story, but somehow I thought her name was Deb. That yawn I felt, that sleep. Yes, yes, yes. I am tired. I'm very tired. Right, okay. So I'm going to set the wee timer. So I'll set it for 10 minutes because I feel a bit under pressure to do it within. Oh, so it was you. Oh my God, that's crazy. You must have fit. See, this is the thing, right? I've explained this before, and a lot of people already know this, but for people that don't know that, that's really what this new moon's about. It's very galactic, and all these things that I've been able to do my whole life, and more heightened after I had my spontaneous Kundalini awakening, which happened over 36 hours, which I've never seen any other human being talking about that happening to them, but it is a thing. Like I've been, yeah, extremely telepathically that the whole time. And anyone I'm really connected to, we've got like crazy telepathy, like whether it's been clients or friends or family or obviously Twinflame. But like that's not a coincidence that I just spoke about beaches and bringing through somebody's friend and then you came on. For some reason, though, sorry, I was calling you Deb. Yes, I came to the door and left my TV playing. You're on it. All right, amazing. Right, okay, so we've got the final countdown on, so I'm going to read this. So, truth, trusting yourself, being real with people, which I've been very real on this, but I always am. Knowing the difference between intuition and paranoia, very important on the twin flame journey. Uncensored feelings, returning to innocence. It can be hard to decipher between intuition and what our mind is telling us. Stories, projections, expectations, and fear can arise under the guise of intuition. To distinguish truthful inner guidance from paranoia, we must return to innocence, to our purest essence. Here we can access the truth of our being. What were the very first feelings and visions you had when you considered the questions at hand, before you second guessed yourself? How does it feel in your body when you're brutally honest with yourself? Try to go beyond the layers of what you've been taught to believe about yourself. Oh, wait a minute. Do you know what? I've done it again. Wait a minute. I keep doing. Right. I keep. Right, there we go. Because I done it in all levels the other day by accident, but yeah, it's meant to be in the, if you set up, if you've set a kind of thing, you need to kind of stick to it. So, right. So, um, try to go beyond the layers of what you've been taught to believe about yourself. When some of the logic falls away, what answers remain? When you ask a young child a question, they don't censor their answers. Their honesty may not be considered polite or socialized, but I'm like that too, you see. It may even seem a bit funny. but it's their truth. And it's interesting to note how intuitive children naturally are. So a lot of you might be like that. I never lost that kind of energy. Obviously, I'll be more polite about it because I'm an adult, but I am very honest, and I make no fucking apologies for that. To tell the difference between intuition and mind chatter, you need to recognize a clear instinctive yes and distinctive no. Or, like Alex said, if it's not a fuck yeah, it's a fuck no. For this, you must trust yourself. So, again, even when it comes to booking my sessions, if it's not a fuck yeah, it's a fuck no for now. But I hope further down the line it'll be a fuck yeah. I've got the money and I'm booking it. I feel good. Do you know what I mean? Or it's fuck yeah, I want to do it, but I've not got any money. Then pray, ask God, ask Spirit, ask the guides, watch what happens, be open to a miracle, and don't waste the money on stuff that's not going to help you, like the session will. Well, it's your money at the end of the day, but so the foundation of self trust is honesty. You must be completely honest with yourself about what feels good, true, and real to you, and what does not. Honesty is more than not lying to yourself. It's also about withholding information. It is about having deep transparency within yourself. Some might describe their intuitive yes as a softening rather than a feeling of tightening, contracting, and avoidance. If we're to stay open to our optimal path, trusting our original innocence and instincts is key. I'm going to listen to the whole thing. I was back for my mum. I came in and you were on. You see, I can mind tally. Also, people are just skeptical to believe in or get yes, exactly. Yeah, we all connect. If you're soul fan, we will sort of tune in. So learn to trust your sense or your intuition. You're encouraged to be absolutely honest with yourself. Cast aside any mind stories and shoulds that you tell yourself. In your heart of hearts, you know the answers. Dare to listen and to honor them. Oh, and that's very like when I was channeling all the stuff about the office, because that's, the point is that those pair have been in love the whole time. So why is he buying a ring for somebody else? Like, it's denial. And it's because they were playing games with each other. Um, this card may also relate to being truthful with another person. Relationships can only deepen when we can be real with each other. Consider your timing and be considerate, but this is a time for truths. I think when I get to watch this back, I might. That's very Sagittarius new moon. This is a time for truths. Absolutely. Now we've got an awkward 6 minutes that I need to hang about before it switches. So, let's just quick fire a few things. What do people need to know out there? Forgiveness. Oh, that's come up in other cards that I just showed. So it's a time of forgiveness. And again, I know it's cheesy, but at this time of year when we're ending the year, although I don't typically count the end of the year until we get into like the spring, because that's actually, if truth be told, that I tune in intuitively to the Mayan New Year, which actually isn't until July. So seriously, it's like that. I said that this year. I felt like I didn't actually come alive until that. Um, but yeah, or you could see it's the start of the astrological year, but yeah. But anyway, in general, the collective go along with the Gregorian calendar, whatever the fuck it's called. So people do, like, no, I'm not from. Cher, why are you shouting at us in capital letters? I'm from Scotland. My roots are in Ireland, but I've actually never been to Ireland. I will definitely be I thought I was going to get there this year, but I'm definitely going next year. Like, that is a big, big goal of mine. I really want to go. And maybe if I love it, I won't come back. But me too. Do you like? Yeah, that's what I mean. Maybe you're really tuned into that energy too. I feel a lot of people that feel very close to me, and if you watch, you know, a lot of my stuff or all of it, I bet you if you really tune in, you might sort of get what I'm saying. Like, but you know what I mean? Like, definitely New Year. People are like, may old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind. It's, forgiveness. Um, but within reason, because that's loaded, isn't it? But some people aren't in your life for a reason. And other people, they're just having a wee time out from your life and they're going to come back even stronger. So you've got to know who's who. Like I always say, I'm sorry to say this, unless it's like clients that are like, doubling back after a time away and raising the same frequency or something. I don't want to hear from anyone from my past. Like if we've fallen out of touch, it's fallen out of touch for a reason. You know, I can't have been that important to you. Apart from my twin flame, I do want to hear from him. But maybe a couple of people actually. Maybe some of my couple of friends, like younger friends that I have. But even then, it's kind of like, nah, it's been ages now. If I saw people about in that, I'd always be friendly and say hi. But it's kind of like, you know, it's just growing in different directions, isn't it? But I always knew that was going to happen with me doing all of this stuff. So whatever, the people that are true will be by your side eventually. No need to worry. Exactly. No need to worry. No need to worry. Shuffled and it came out. No need to worry. Forgiveness and compromise. And it's got the scales on it. Yeah, there's going to be a compromise. There's going to be a karmic justice coming about for a lot of twin flames. With the scales there as well, that's about the winter equinox coming up at the weekend. That's why the intensity is so strong this week. It's why, in hindsight, I don't regret doing this, but it's why it's a bit quieter. A lot of people feel really all over the place. So hopefully this helped some of you that did do it. I don't know that I would. No need to worry. It came out 3 times. Strong message. Yeah, I don't think I would do it in the build up to the change of a season again. I think it's just literally what's going on the planet. I was called to do it. Listen to your intuition. Look for a sign. Now that's interesting because remember I mentioned on the one last night. I feel either some people watching you did ask for a sign, and then maybe I've showed it in the cards, or I've said something, or you see it somewhere else, or they're saying to you, if you keep procrastinating about things, ask for a sign. And then it's like what I said about the money. Watch, because it'll probably appear. And then are you going to take action? Or are you going to pretend that you didn't see it? Take action. That's what the whole week's been about. So that's reminding you, listen to your intuition and take action. Because the whole challenge is called fuck it, let's go, for fuck's sake. You're meant to take action. No matter how small. Listen to your intuition and take action. It's the final countdown. I started doing that 144. It's the final countdown. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. It's the final countdown. What's Hot Man gonna say? It is. I want a future with you. Oh my God! When Sagittarius season's about the future, so very masculine collective coming through saying they want a future with you. And we have, oh my God, what the hell is this excitement right at the end? Something's going to happen right at the 11th hour, the last minute. Potential promise. It's about to happen. Keep going. And again, when it's Thursday, Friday, that's what I said in the post there. Like, keep going. So I noticed, like they talk through me, like you see me say all the time. That's not a coincidence. I just said what I said about whatever I said, and then the cards are saying the same thing. For some twin flames, it's going to happen. This person's coming forward. They want a future with you, and it's about to happen. Keep going. That's so funny. The cosmic heart is Venus. That's what I work with. Devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. And look how much I spoke about prayer. Lovely. So let me read what you're saying. So regardless of how all this stuff actually works, it does work. Every sign I've seen has led me to my destination. Studying will work out because I will make it work and use the signs like a handrail. Shame everything but love. What do you mean? Anyway, it's going to cut me off. So I hope to see some of you tomorrow, either chatting or lurking, lovingly lurking. And I pray for everyone that's watching just to be nosy buggers and sending negative energy. But yeah, bye. Lovely. Love you. See you later. Bye. Really not sure if I actually have a twin. You do. You're here. You've got a twin flame. You wouldn't be hanging out that long. I don't know if it's cut me off yet though.